Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and in this video, we're going to take the viral cottage cheese chips to a whole nother level. I first became aware of the cottage cheese chip experiment on the Keto Twins channel, so shout out to them for being my inspiration on this. When I made the original batch of cottage cheese chips like they did in the microwave, I wasn't thrilled with it. The results, the texture, the evenness of cooking just didn't do it for me. So I got the idea that I would do it in a food processor. I would put the cottage cheese in a food processor, smooth it out, and then try and microwave it. Still wasn't thrilled with the results. Simultaneously, I saw that the Keto Twins also decided to use a food processor to smooth it out, so we're going to credit that to sort of great minds think alike, I guess. My thought process was the key to getting these to cook up evenly and crispy would be to cook them at low temperature. So I started a number of experiments in my dehydrator, but that took a long time and I know a lot of people don't have a dehydrator. So I began experimenting in my oven, trying low temperatures and different time settings, and discovered that 225 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 107 Celsius, was right where I needed to be. Now in terms of the cooking time, it's going to be a lot longer than a microwave, but it's very low effort and the results are perfect. So I'm going to start this video off with just the basic one ingredient version of these chips. I'll start by preheating my oven to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I've got 1 cup, or about 230 grams, of cottage cheese, full-fat cottage cheese, and I'm using a variable measuring cup here. I'll include links to that and my food processor and any other tools that I use in this video down in the description below. But I'm going to process this for about 20 seconds, then scrape down the sides, and process again for about another 20 seconds, or until the consistency is sort of like a cream cheese frosting. Then I've got a cookie sheet with a silicone mat and a number 50 disher. A number 50 disher will give you about 1.2 tablespoons of batter, and I fill it just a little bit past full. I find that doing that, not only do I get really consistent crackers in terms of size and shape, but also it works out to exactly 12, with just a tiny little bit left in my processor bowl. I'm going to pop these into the oven for 40 minutes. And after 40 minutes, you'll see that they've now all flattened out into nice round crackers. I'm going to rotate the tray to account for any hot or cold spots in my oven and let it go for another 40 minutes. At this point, the crackers are not quite done, but I don't want them to get overdone or burnt. So I'm just going to turn off the heat and let it cook with the residual oven heat in the oven for another 20 minutes. At which time, the crackers are done. And you can see that they are nice, firm, and as they start to cool, they'll even peel away from the mat a little bit, but it's not like they're going to stick anyway. After I'd nailed down the time and temperature on just the plain cottage cheese chips, I started trying different ingredients and add-ins. I think I've got like 9 different batches right here, but we're going to start with pork rinds. For the pork rind crackers, I'm using a level tablespoon, or about 15 grams of ground up barbecue pork rinds, which I'm adding to my pre-processed cottage cheese. And I'll continue to process this until it blends in nicely. Again, using my number 50 disher to create my little orbs. And into the oven, again, same cooking time, 40 minutes, and then 20 minutes of residual heat. And here is the finalized product. Looking very nice. After the pork rind experiment, I wanted to see if I could make sort of a sweeter, almost cookie-like sort of a chip. So I tried out Keto Chow. For the Keto Chow, again, I'm going with 1 tablespoon. I'm using the chocolate peanut butter flavor in this version. Process this in, and what you'll see on these is they really spread out quite a bit more and wound up a lot thinner and crispier. Also, I kind of overscooped, so I only had 11 instead of 12. Now, in terms of some of my other experiments, I've tried out cheddar powder and found that a tablespoon didn't quite get me the cheesy flavor that I was looking for. I haven't tried more than that. In terms of doing different seasonings, I tried ranch powder. I found that half a teaspoon was a little too light. I would probably, though, start with half a teaspoon if I were you, adding some seasoning. And if you find out after your first batch that it needs to be amped up a little bit more, maybe move up to 3/4 of a teaspoon or a full teaspoon of seasoning. If using a nut flour, like I used some pecan flour, those turned out great. 1 tablespoon. But now I'm gonna get my wife in here and we're gonna do a little taste testing. All right, you've tried out, I think, 3 of the different chips so far, right?
Right.
You had the plain, you had the cheddar, which you thought was cheesier than I did. And do you remember what the third one was?
I don't.
Okay, well, I've got a big selection behind us that you already looked at.
Okay.
If you want to pick out 2 or 3, and we'll give them a try.
Let's do it. I'm going to do the pork rind
Okay.
and the pecan.
Pork rind and pecan flavor, and
the pecan sticky bun.
Ooh,
A little
okay.
sweeter one.
All right. Why don't we start with the pecan, because it's probably the most plain. My goal here was just to make something very much like a cracker.
Okay.
Like a good delivery mechanism for cheese or...
Yeah, looks good when you broke it and thin.
Yeah, the texture on these is great. It's very consistent. Every chip that comes out winds up being essentially the same using this method.
Okay, good.
So don't think of it as a flavored cracker. Just think of it as a non-keto sort of a cracker.
Yeah,
And what
it's really good. I like it. It's plain and it'll be good for delivering whatever mechanism.
Yep.
French onion dip.
There you
Cheddar dip.
There you go.
Great for
All good.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could even make nachos out of something like these. Well, I mean,
I
not
wouldn't
not
want
the,
the
not,
flavor
not
of
this
pecan
particular
flour.
Yeah, I mean, but perhaps there's a different flour
Yeah,
that would make some good dip and chips.
Corn.
Something like that, or
Yeah,
some sort of a corn
flour.
extract.
Yeah, corn flour.
We can't have like corn flour on keto.
Oh, corn.
But we could always, maybe add a little corn tortilla extract or something.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
So next we have the pork rind ones that I made earlier in this video. And I want you to, in this instance, pay attention to both the difference in taste and any difference in texture.
Okay. A little more crispier and light, and there is like a flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not overpowering.
No, still.
But the crunch on this
Yeah.
is really good.
Crispy.
In fact, now I'm leaning more towards using pork rinds and maybe some sort of a corn extract to make tortilla chips.
There you go. Yeah, that works.
Lastly, the keto chow version. And one of the things you can see is it spreads out quite a bit more. This is actually one of the more round ones. But let me get nice and close to the camera so you can see how thin these are. These are really, really thin. And even, oops, see,
yeah,
that's an excellent catch. That'll be your bite.
Yeah.
So even the way they crack is different. Okay. And I know what I think they taste like, but I want to see what you think.
Okay.
Ting.
Yeah, they're crispy, thin, and yeah, but they got more flavor. The pecan and yeah, so like a waffly.
Yeah, like a waffle cone.
Yeah, like with
a little bit like that. Like I wonder if you could use this in one of those Dash mini waffle bowls and make a waffle cone.
And then put some apple pie ice cream
or just put this, right into the ice cream. It also kind of reminds me a little bit of pralines, a little bit, and even a tiny bit. I'm getting a slight flashback to Golden Grahams cereal.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Yeah, Golden Grahams.
So I wonder if you use the s'more flavor of keto chow.
It has to be more sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, but oh.
Yeah, good job.
Kind of across the board.
Sticky bun, huh?
There's none of these that I've been disappointed with, and I think the opportunities for experimentation are huge.
Yeah.
Thanks for your help.
All right, bye, dear.
So while this does take longer to make the chips than making them in a microwave, you get consistent results every single time. Now, I actually purchased a number 100 disher that I think just arrived yesterday. I have to open the package, in which case now I can make smaller crackers, probably around that big. But I will include links down in the description below to all the tools that I used in this video. Now, if you're trying to make this and you're finding out that it's not cooking up the same way as mine, I would encourage you to watch my video on oven calibration, which I will link to in the end card. Once you start making these chips or crackers, if you come up with any particular ingredient or flavoring that you add that you think is just top-notch, please let me know down in the description below. And once again, I want to throw a shout out to the Keto Twins because I would not have thought of this or been inspired to do this had it not been for their video. So Sarah, Emily, thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button. If you're not a subscriber already, tap that subscribe button, then hit the bell to turn on all notifications. And if you really enjoyed it, hit that thanks button so I can buy some more cottage cheese. Over here, I'll put that oven calibration video and probably some other cracker video. That's it for this video, though. Thanks for watching.